So welcome back at long last to Sorare Wakey Academy. I'm doing another video at last. I've been away and the wife's not been too well, so it's been a while since I did one. But I thought I'd bring you up to date on my gallery at the moment, because I don't think I've ever shown my gallery. So I'll start off with that, and then we'll lead into some more videos as we go along. But as you can see, we're still Wakey Academy. You can get me on Twitter at the Wakester2286 or Discord at Wakey. Now I want to show my gallery then, and this is my Hall of Fame here. This is my ones that I pinned on last year that were really good last season. I did have Julian Alvarez, but sold him when he went to Man City, and I got Sandro Tonali in because he looked really good at the end of last season. So they are my standout players and my under-23 squad for this season. Kopchu injured, but he's due to come back soon. Carlson also due to come back soon. Saliba, I'm glad I kept him because his price went right down and I just couldn't really sell him, losing so much money. So I kept him and he looks fantastic, doesn't he? And I said a while back in one of my other videos that he reminded me of Rio Ferdinand, and now Gary Neville's come out and said it. Must have heard it from me, eh? Van der Vaart's been a bit of a problem this season. He's in the team and he plays every single week at the moment, but not getting great scores. I'm hoping that changes as he matures and gets a little bit older. But we'll have a look at the squads then. These are the squads that I'm going with now for this season. Many of you will know from the Twitter account that I went on to an ETH grinding side. It was all MLS. They did well. They won 4 out of 4 top ETH prizes for me. But I want to sell them and get rid of them as MLS finishing soon. I know I can pick them up cheaper in a few months' time as well, or a few weeks' time I should say. But I also want to change and maybe get an ETH grinding side from the Challenger and Champion. Should have done it earlier when the prices were lower. But for now we're going with these, and we're going with 4 squads in total. And this is 4 main squads. What I will do is I might also enter some of the specialist and also some of the underdog leagues, depending on how many players I've got, and possibly an all-star team as well, just thrown together from whatever's left. Of course these players won't play together every single week, so they are subject to change. But here's my under-23 side, as you've just seen. That's what I'm going with this season, when everybody's available and fit. That's, I think, would be my best squad for them. You can comment below if you think any of my other players should come in instead of any of them there. But Carlson's going to bang goals, and he hasn't moved yet, which we expected. Kurtzu got injured just at the right time, I think. Now he's not playing at the moment, which is a bit sad, but at the same time he hasn't moved, possibly because of that injury, which could work in his favour. Saliba, as I say, is going well. I looked at Kalulu coming in for Saliba, and I've got a shortlist which I'll put on later as well, showing the players that I'm actually targeting now to either bolster or improve the squad that I already have. Now we're going to my America squad, and Alexander Callens, which is sort of doubling up in the same team at New York City Football Club, and they've been okay all season but just starting to waver a little bit at the moment, and Callens got injured as well I think last week, so I'm not sure he'll start in there for the next game. But Luciano Costa and Reynoso both had injury problems as well recently, and Ferreira's been misfiring, but I think coming up to next season this will be a good team to win some prizes. I'm hoping. I'm also after the likes of Hill, Carlos Hill and Hani Mukhtar as backups for these. Possible replacement for Ferreira, who's just not, like I say, he's just not really producing right now. But he's only young, so next year he could get even better. But that's what I'm going with for my MLS side for next season and the remainder of this season. Looking at my Challenger League then, so far we've got Bilal Bayazit. Now I can't remember what it was told me, and I'm sure you'll come in the comments and tell me. I looked at Bayazit and somebody said that they've got a transfer ban at the moment, so he will be staying as their number 1, we hope, unless they've got a youth player flying through. So I think he's pretty steady in goal there. And we've got Milan Van Neweck. Again, fullbacks have been given a little bit of a boost recently, so I think Van Neweck, decent last year, only a young lad still coming through, but I think as a possible wing back for Heerenveen, he will start to play all year and can only get better, I'm sure. Josh Cullen, who went to Burnley, produced a good first match. Let's hope he continues in that same form then. And we've got Anton Grigic, who is at Sion out in Switzerland, an unfancied team, but we all know Grigic, I think by now, is just banging the scores in left, right and centre. Poor game last week, but he will only get better as next season and this season continue. Michael Frey up front, sort of hit and miss. He'll either fire 5 goals in a row and then nothing. It depends when you get him. You can put him in for them 5 and hopefully he bangs, but I'm also looking for a replacement for him at the moment then as an improvement, and we're looking at the likes of Sesko coming in, but even Sesko, maybe Taremi, possibly Cody Gakpo, who can also fill in at my under-23s then as well. So that is my challenger side for the year. Finally going on to champion. Now I can't afford these massive players, but I'm hoping that if I get a few cards and I can sell them on, plus the players that I'm also trying to get rid of at the moment, then I could get an improvement on this team. Now Badiashile of course can cover for Saliba in my under-23s as well. But Colin Casteels, I think Wolfsburg have got a good chance in the league this season to finish quite high. I mean, not to win it, but to finish high. So Colin Casteels was great when I was playing Football Index. Not been as good just recently, but now the team's looking better. I think he could have a good season there. Badiashile, as you know already. Renato Sanchez, love this guy. I'm hoping Liverpool were going to sign him last season, but they didn't. He's moved from Lille now and has gone on to play for Paris Saint-Germain. Now, if he breaks into that side, which I think he will, he's going to get some good scores there. Luka Modric, again, another one that I'm looking to improve on. I think he will hold that position for now until the likes of Camovinga comes through. So Modric, I think, will still score quite highly. And Mark Uth, who's not really heard of that much, he's at FC Cologne. He scores very well, but again, I want an improvement on him. And I'm looking at maybe Alvarez, Immobile, Alessandro Player, sorry. That's an improvement that I need to make on there. But they are my 4 teams then that I'm going with, and obviously I'll maybe chucking a few for the All-Star. Let's have a look at my actual club and my cards. Okay, so going down, you see who I bought recently. I've got a few up there up for sale as well. Kevin Stoves is brilliant, played really well. Matt Bride Ace, put me onto him again. He was good in Football Index, but he's starting to get decent again on this game as well now, and starting to suit the index quite well. But he's not in my top teams. He's not my top player in the teams that I've got. So good backup player, but I'm trying to sell him to maybe get a decent player to exchange with the ones I've got already. You see Remy Deschamps or Deschamps, I bought him as my champion keeper just in case he gets into the side, but then I managed to get hold of Casteels, so he's up for sale. Uth, as I said, I want to replace. Tony Watt was brought in for the games with for the games with Dundee United and AZ Alkmaar. He's alright, his scores are okay, but he's not going to be a top player, so I want to get rid of him as well. Gianluca Mancini. Now again, a defender, champion defender. I've got Badiashile there, but if Badiashile gets called to the under-23s, and Mancini will fill in, but if I can sell him, I'm selling him. Philip Max, another great player who, on his game, is fantastic. We've also got next to him there, you can see Joseph Scally, who's a young lad breaking through. Sort of been on and off for the season, but I think Scally will get better and better, especially this season. I think he's going to get in at possibly right back, maybe left back if Luca Netz doesn't recover well enough. Who we also have, as you can see down there, Luca Netz. We've got Lucumi, who seems to have got that position now at centre back, and I just hope that Genk keep their team instead of keep chopping and changing it. I've also got Melanie Melenstein. If you've seen any of the videos that I've got, like this guy, he's also moved recently to, was it 20, I think? But he's also moved, so he should play well. He didn't play that well last week, but getting better. Luca Netz, as I mentioned, young lad, highly rated, but off and on with his form at the moment. Holzhauser, he was in my challenger lineup, but I'm going to replace him with Grigic. I had an all-star team that he was in, but I'm going to get rid of the all-star team. Senny Leinen, brilliant last season at the start, but then got injured. He was out for a year almost. Just starting to get back. Pushing Teddy Tuma, but I don't think he'll get Tuma's place. I think he'll play alongside him, so that's Senny Leinen. Raveloson, saw him, he's moved as well now. So we'll just get rid of him. Danny De Witt, great player for AZ. Can hit 5 decent scores and then gets lost in a few of the games, so if I can sell him as well, he's not my top player that I've got in my team, so I want better. So his money from that will add up to a decent player. Lucas Biglia. I hadn't really tracked this guy until I saw Andrew's podcast and picked him up from that, but I've not really played him. Not one of my big players. Bradley is just Bradley. He's going. He's all right when you've got a rare player, Bradley, but limited, not worth keeping. Marcus Pink and Ryan Edwards. Edwards is going okay. He's still got European at the moment, but I think AZ will knock them out. Marcus Pink, a bit off form, but he's for sale as well. Johnny Russell could come good, but I just can't afford to wait for him, so he's up. Joe Willis has been, again, hit and miss. Nagby and Elliott up for sale. Joel Drummond, I think, is going to get some form of game this season. I'm sure Drummond will get some time this season where he moves or whether he breaks back into that PSV side. And then we've got Kessler and Lennon. Lennon's been out for quite a long time now, and Kessler is, again, either hit a 20 or a 70. You just don't know with him. And then for page 2 then, we've got the likes of Kevin Cabral, who I thought would have been better than he has been, but yeah, he's sort of gone off the boil a bit, so he's up for sale as well. You'll see down there, I'm keeping Evian, I'm keeping Tabuni. Tabuni will break through. I know he'll break through. I've been banging on about him for a while, and Evian also. Evian's now got through, as a couple of players are moving on from AZ. So he should start in there each game. Jens Petter Haag or Haig, another one that we're waiting on to really produce. But then we've got Icon Shabolok Sean, who's not really played this season. He looked really good. He looked a good prospect, Hungarian. He's in the national side, but he's doing nothing at the moment. So he's just stuck in my team. Can't afford to sell him really. Freddie Vargas, a lot of you may know, young lad, looks decent. And then Zavaleta. I mean, these number ones are 1,000. Vargas and Zavaleta, but not really worth keeping if we can get rid of them. Just a mistake when I first joined up. Oh, sorry, when the limiteds first came out. So that is my whole team, and you see my whole squads. I only got 118 followers. I didn't realise I had that many. I'm following Powell Trader, Super Usmani, who always does me a decent deal. I mean, he gets stung a little bit on the price, but if you want to shift cards on, Trader and Super Usmani are the best ones. Of course, Matt Bride Ace, I'm sure a lot of you will know now, gives a lot of great advice. I'm in a group with him, and this guy is outstanding, clearing up at the moment on every single league. So that's the video. I'll go on to show you what I've got, or what my targets are to replace some of them players that I've just shown you. So welcome to Sorare Data page then for Wakey Academy. You can see I'm not a big gallery, never have been. I'll let the roster price get to about 4,500 and then start selling to keep it below that. You'll also see I've got up there my reward winning lineups. Sometimes you throw teams in that I've got no chance of winning, but I've won 28 rewards as such, with quite a small gallery still, so we're going okay. You can see on here the actual breakdown of the players. Then we've got our goalkeepers there. We've got our defenders. It's a bit easier looking on this page rather than on your actual gallery, because it breaks them down a bit easier. Midfielders, some of these prices are ridiculous that are on Sorare Data. But that's my midfielders. Oh, missed one. And then we've got our forwards, which I think I need a couple more of, to be honest, to bolster that squad. So there's our forwards. So as you see, roster value, it's going down by the second at the moment. Now I know Eve's just changed just recently and gone down a little bit. It's been climbing quite steadily, but now it's just gone down a little bit. But I wanted to have a look at my watch list, which I just made up whilst I was doing that last video. Or just after that video, sorry. And let's have a look at this. These are the players that I'm targeting to try and improve or bolster my other squad. Now, I'll change this first into the goalkeepers. Let's go to goalkeepers first and have a look who I'm looking at, and I want to do on the list way. So these are my goalkeepers. I've got Sammy Bossert, Guillaume Hubert, Nico Mantle. I need to buy him right now. Mantle's going to take off, I think, so I need to buy Mantle right now. And Ratkovic, I'm just keeping an eye on these players. who I think, they're quite cheap, really cheap if you're looking to get a decent one. They've got 2 starters there, but Rajkovic have got down as a reserve. I don't know if he's been injured or something recently, but great player. I used to have him on Football Manager all the time. He was a wonder kid on Football Manager. That's why I like him so much. But they're my players. Not expensive as you can see. Valuation floor prices, unlimited. But just backups. Mantle's the one that I really want, to be honest. Let's look at defenders then. Now I've listed a few here. We've got Malakia, who's at Man United. Had a good score after just playing 1 minute last week. He came on as sub, made 3 tackles in seconds. Also Sven Botman, who was a substitute again for Newcastle. But he's going to break through into that side. And as they get stronger players coming in, because they are going to buy with all the money they've got. Botman, I think, will be a sound investment in that side. Pierre Kalulu, I'd had him before, got rid of him, but he's quite strong, but I'm not going to pay 265 at the moment for him, so I'll wait for him to come down a little bit. But another big one there, Owen Vindal, rated so highly at AZ, and he moved on to Ajax, and I was rubbing my hands together, and just not getting back, so I need to chase him up. So that's my defenders that I'm looking at. These are just targets, people I'll keep an eye on. Look at the midfield, got quite a few midfielders coming through here that I'm wanting to look at. Treble, I bought 3 of these for 20 quid, and then he just didn't take off in price wise. I knew he was going back to Anderlecht, but he's now started there and his price has boomed. So, do I buy him back or not? Feels a bit bad to buy him back now when I could have had him for 20 quid. Colin Mcgregor, he's starting nearly every game it seems. He is the captain there. Celtic, of course, doing really well with Stacks. So it could be worth a look at him for 138 quid now. Hans Vanaken, another one of them on the wish list. We know all about Vanaken. Griffo, underrated. 100 quid for Griffo. He'll do well, but will he be better than the likes of Cal McGregor? I know it's a champion and a challenger players, but I just think that it's possibly better than Griffo. So I'm just keeping an eye on him. I mean, Hoffman on his own, I think, is better than Griffo. Great player, Hoffman. Danny Parejo, he keeps scoring and scoring, and I keep thinking he's getting older and older, but he's still getting the results. He's doing ever so well. Gravenberch, I've always liked, had him at Ajax. Now he's moved, I was unsure and I sold him. But I'm just keeping a little eye on him as well. Camovinga, another one I thought would break through already. I thought he'd take Modric's place or Casemiro's place. Even Toni Kroos to an extent, who I've got just listed below him here. So, Camovinga, I really like. He's going to be a talent, isn't he, Camovinga? No matter what. You don't have to be follow football even to know Camavinga's going to be good. But Toni Kroos also in there. So one of these will, I think, be better than Sanchez and Modric. Utkin, an outsider. A lot of people know him really well now, but he's still not fancied really. And Trezor below. Again, I had Trezor at 20 odd quid, and he's now up at 100 odd quid. Made a mistake getting rid, maybe. Who knows? And then for the MLS team for next season, I'm waiting for this price to come down a little bit more. Mukhtar and Hill, I think, will come down. I saw Carlos Hill last season at something like below £200 out of season, so that's when I'll be picking him up. That's the midfielders. Let's have one look at the forwards then. And we have got, Lewandowski. You've got to have a look at Lewandowski. Although he's £600, he's a hell of a lot of money, isn't he? But Lewandowski, still great. Decent talent. These are more sort of wish list players, and if I do win a few rewards, I'll look to buy them. Darwin, I can't afford now. I had him once when he was like 300 quid. Got rid, but flipping them was good because it's got me where I am today, and some of the money taken out as well. Paulo Dybala, I think, will be brilliant at Roma. Alassane Play, I said about him earlier. And Mobley always scores well. Cody Gakpo, he hasn't moved on, so he could have a great season again. But again, 500 quid, it's not worth paying that at the moment, I don't think. Even Ilson still yet to really show that potential that he's got. And alongside him is Taremi, of course, who has been doing it for quite a few years now. Decent player. Benjamin Sesko and Julian Alvarez, my number one targets at the moment. Sesko, although he's sort of moved, he's getting loaned back to his original club, part of that Red Bull sort of saga that goes on. So Sesko's my number one target. I think he'll play really well this year, get a lot of goals. He's probably worth that 350 quid. And Julian Alvarez, 281. I think he'll play more than people expected for Man City, and I'd get him now before he gets back up to 600 or 700 quid. So that's the players I'm after. And I also forgot to say I've got a bid in, a few hours left on it yet, for Devnu Wrench, who is, I think, a really good player. Now, I know Ajax aren't going to be what they were last season, but he's the one that I'm after. Devnu Wrench, great player, right back at the moment, can play centre back as well, but I think he's more likely to play at right back. So that is my gallery and the players that I'm targeting at the moment. Hopefully they'll only get better. This team needs to start clicking again, start winning rewards so I can sell them on and get the replacements that I'm actually after. But that was the video. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like and subscribe as well. You can have a look at my watch list. I'll make that public before long as well, so you can just have a look at them. And we'll get some more videos coming out very soon now that I'm back into it again. And we'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.